Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning to our speaker for today, Encik Abdul Rani, Salleh.
Morning.
To everyone here who will join us, good morning, welcome. I'm Lawrence Kong. It is my pleasure to be a moderator for the session today. First, let me briefly introduce to you the intent of the webinar today. The webinar is a part of webinar series focusing on Malaysia global competitiveness, ranking in how we as a country manage the totality of our competencies to increase growth. The global competitiveness ranking is evaluated and reported every year by international organizations. One of these organizations is IMD. IMD is a private business education school in Switzerland, short for International Institute for Management Development. It is not a university, but it publishes this performance in their World Competitiveness Yearbook every year since 1989. The yearbook benchmarks the performance of 63 countries based on 255 criteria measuring different dimensions of competitiveness. It uses two types of data to compare countries. Two-thirds of it is hard statistical data, which they collected from international or national sources, and one-third of it is from survey data, which they collected from executives from different industries. In the recent World Competitiveness Yearbook 2020, Malaysia's competitiveness ranking has dropped 5 positions since last year to 27th this year. So imagine this, rank 27 out of 63 countries. This rank of 27 is the lowest Malaysia has had in the past 5 years. There are 4 categories of competitiveness ranking factors these countries have been compared. They are economic performance, government efficiency, business efficiency, and infrastructure. Now, today we are honored to have Encik Abdul Rani to share with us a topic on national culture. National culture is one of the criteria in a factor called business efficiency. Within this factor, a sub-factor called attitudes and values, measuring if our national culture is open to foreign ideas. Encik Abdul Rani will be sharing with us the highlights and issues of our current ranking of this national culture. He will recommend improvements to help Malaysia increase our future ranking. Now, before I hand over the audio to him, let me first introduce our speaker. Encik Abdul Rani has over 20 years of experience in many fields, especially in the field of training. He has trained thousands of students. In his training circles, he is otherwise known by his alias, Brother Ron.
Mr. Lawrence, we cannot hear you.
Mr. Lawrence, we can't hear you.
Still cannot.
technical problem.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes. I'm sorry, I don't know what happened. At which point did you lose me just now? Have
The
I started
introduction.
introducing you? Introduction
Yes.
to Brother Rani, or
Yep.
before that?
The introduction to me.
Okay. I'm sorry to the audience who have lost the audio. I don't know what happened, but let me start introducing Inche Abdurrani again. I'm sorry about that. Inche Abdurrani has over 20 years of experience in many fields, especially in the field of training. He has trained thousands of students. In his training circles, he is otherwise known as Brother Ron by his alias. Before Brother Ron go into training, he was in the field of telecommunication services, manufacturing, computer software development, logistic, inventory and warehouse management, distribution, business process reengineering, and enterprise resource planning using SAP. All of these were during his tenure at Sapura Groups in the divisions of telecommunications, messaging, and marketing. Inche Abdurrani is currently the lead consultant of Linka, Sendirian Berhad. He is also an associate trainer for MaxVac, E-Class, and Urshad Consultancy. As a trainer, his core expertise is in project management, risk management, safety management, strategic scenario planning, logistics and supply chain management, supervisory and clerical development, customer service development, effective negotiation, creative and critical thinking, team building, productivity, and quality improvement. He is also a certified NLP practitioner by the National Federation of NLP. Inche Abdurrani has consulted and trained students in many multinational companies, in government ministries and public agencies. Just to quote a few from the long list: Matsushita, Fujitsu Component, JVC Electronics, Totokiki, Tamura Electronics, Ministry of Education, Ministry of Domestic Trade and Cooperatives, and the list goes on. At the international level, Inche Abdurrani has provided training and consultancy to the government of Negara Brunei Darussalam, specifically to their Ministry of Development, Ministry of Religious Affairs, Labour Department, and Authority for Info Communication Technology Industry. With that, let me hand over the audio to Inche Abdurrani Salleh. Over to you, Inche Rani.
Okay. Thank you very much, Lawrence. Let me the technical aspect first. Can you hear my voice?
Yes, I can.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much, Lawrence. Okay. Let's proceed. Okay. Okay, as what Lawrence mentioned, if you want to know more details about me, you can scan the QR code on this particular slide. Yes, my name is Abdul Salleh. Okay, you guys can call me Brother Ron, Mr. Ron, Ron. And of course, when you heard that particular word Ron, of course, I think inside your mind there will be this particular thing called Ron 95, Ron 97. So I can't help it. Ron 95, Ron 97. Okay, I consider them to be my cousins. Okay. Okay, you can scan that particular QR code if you want to know more details about me. Okay, and let's move on. The objective of this particular morning presentation, number one, we would like to highlight the so-called nation color ranking for national culture is open to foreign ideas. Okay, as stipulated in IMD WCY 2020. And we would like to analyze the reasons or drivers that have determined this so-called position. As Mr. Laura mentioned, our competitiveness index as per WCY 2020 is not improving, it's getting worse. And for this particular national culture, okay, the index is also getting worse. So we like to analyze the reasons or drivers that have determined this so-called position. And at the end, we like to recommend initiatives that can help Malaysia to improve on this particular ranking, on this particular indicator, and hopefully, okay, it will help, okay, to improve our overall competitive ranking. Yeah. So 27 is a very, very low for a country like us. We used to be the so-called Asian tigers, so we should be better than 27. Okay. Okay, Lawrence, are you still with me? Okay, it's
Yes,
okay.
I'm
Let me.
still here. I'm
Okay,
still here.
okay, okay. Thank you, Lawrence.
No problem.
Because when I do this, I don't like to talk to myself by myself. So I would like to hear another voice beside my own voice. Thank you, Lawrence.
Oh, I'm with you. I can see you all the way. It's just that I think when you're presenting, you can't see anyone else. But bear
Okay,
in mind, I'm still here. Plus,
okay,
a
good.
lot of the audience are listening too.
Okay, good to know that. All right, okay,
Yep.
let's go to
Thank
the
you.
background of this particular presentation of mine. Okay, the definition of culture. Okay, the one definition that I find very helpful is one provided by Merriam-Webster. Okay, when we talk about culture, the definition of culture, culture can be defined as the set of shared attitudes, values, goals, and practices that characterize an institution or organization. Okay, this particular definition is interesting. If we replace institution or organization with nation, then we can rephrase it as the set of shared attitudes, values, goals, and practices that characterize a nation. Okay, whether we like it or not, you join an organization as an individual. Okay, but the moment you join a particular organization, you must have awareness that you're part of the bigger picture, and you must have willingness to be part of that particular bigger picture. Similarly, in this particular country of us, individuals, okay, like us, we make up an organization. Okay, both individuals and organization make a nation. Okay, so culture is a key characteristics of individual and organization. Okay, culture is a critical means to determine how values, behaviors, and assumptions influence the inclusiveness, openness, and cohesion of societies, as well as the improvement of people's right, health, and quality of life. Yeah. And for this particular criteria, the IMD WCY 2020 competitive ranking for this indicator is based on correspondent feedback to this particular survey. Okay, the survey is a very simple Likert from a scale from 1 to 6. The national culture is closed or open to foreign ideas. Okay, the national culture is, if the correspondent rank as 1, basically the national culture is close to foreign ideas. The higher, the more open to foreign ideas. Okay. So when we talk about national culture, okay, what is national culture? Okay. When we talk about the study of national culture, we could run away from Hofstede. Okay, this is one of the pioneer when it comes to research in national culture. Hofstede in dimension of national culture, define national culture as the shared values and assumptions held by individuals within that particular nation. Okay, this particular division is a lot simpler compared to the one provided by Merriam-Webster. Okay, whether we like it or not, yeah. Okay, in the current business environment characterized by globalization, deregulation, and heightened competition, no nation is an island, okay, that is insulated from outside influences. Similarly, our country as well. Malaysia has been influenced in the past and now, okay, by foreign ideas. Okay, and these particular foreign ideas, whether we are aware or not, they have been incorporated as part of our organizational practices. And hence we can call it, they are part of our contemporary national culture. If you look at from 5S, Kaizen, 2PM, ISO, quality management system, and recently Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, okay, and the so-called digitalization, okay, all of these are foreign ideas, okay, but they have been embedded as part of our nation contemporary culture. So whether we like it or not, foreign ideas come in many form influences, okay, and they can be good, they can also be bad. But for this particular study, we look at foreign ideas from the perspective of how those ideas help, okay, build up our competitiveness as a nation. Okay. Now let's move on. If you look at the historical and current performance, okay, based on WCY 2020. Okay, our country performance is not that bad actually. Yeah, okay, we have been good. Okay, in 2013, for example, okay, Malaysia national culture. How open is your foreign? How open is your national culture to foreign ideas? Okay, we are ranked. We were ranked, okay, as a country. We were ranked number 5. Okay, but from 2013 onward, we have progressed backward for this particular indicator. Yeah, when I say backward, with the higher the number, the worse our ranking. The lower the number, the better is our competitiveness ranking. Yeah, from 2013 onward, we have progressed backward for this particular indicator. And in 2020, okay, our ranking is 43. And if we compare to 2019, our ranking was at number 20. So we jumped by 23. We jumped by 23 index. That is bad. Yeah. Now, why do we have this particular figure? Okay, why 2013 we were in the top 10, and why 2020 we were in at this particular ranking at 43? Yeah, and the main challenges when I do this particular study, analyzing this particular indicator. Okay, the main challenges is for me to determine the exact data used as indicator by IMDb to produce this particular report. Because this particular ranking is based solely on one Likert scale survey data. Okay, so I consider this to be a type 4 issues. Okay, which requires further clarification by IMD. Okay, it can also be considered a type 3 cluster of challenges since we also have ownership issues, and there is a possibility as type 2 since the basis for this survey is uncertain. Okay, to those who are uninitiated to this particular thing, when I say type 4, type 3, or type 2, or type 1, I'm talking about this. We are using this particular definition based on the previous study. Okay, when we say type 4, okay, basically, do we know what is being measured by the indicator? If the answer is no, because we're not clear about it, then we classify that particular thing as type 4. Need further clarification. Okay, do we have policy that address the fundamentals with regard to this national culture? How open is your national culture to foreign ideas? Okay, if the answer is no, we call it type 1, fundamental issues. Yeah, and if is data complete to answer this particular indicator? If the answer is no, we call it type 2, irregular partial data. We don't have complete picture. And this particular indicator, okay, I can also consider it as type 3. Why? Because when we look at authorities, key regulator, key authorities, does the data reside with single authority? Yeah, the answer is definitely no. Okay, now let's me move on. Go to the next one. So key authorities and regulators for this particular study, okay, national culture that consists of shared attitude, goals, and practices among Malaysians that contribute to our competitiveness can be molded by policies or the following ministries and agencies. Key authorities and regulators. Here, number 1, I put Ministry of Tourism, Arts and Culture Malaysia. Okay, this particular, why Ministry of Tourism, Arts and Culture Malaysia? Because they are empowered, they are in position, okay, to regulate and come up with policies. And number 1, okay, they are responsible to create awareness on national culture policy on an international level. Okay, and they're also responsible to create Malaysia Cultural Center to spread Malaysian culture worldwide. But when I look at their policies, okay, most of the current policies are more on preserving and promoting traditional Malaysian culture. Okay, our batik, our zapin, more on promoting traditional Malaysian culture, not so much on contemporary. But even though when I look at the policies, okay, generated by this particular ministry, okay, they're open to foreign ideas. Okay, it is stated in the policy that they're open to foreign ideas. Okay, but in terms of roles, okay, when it comes to contemporary Malaysian culture, we have lots of room for this particular ministry to play. And number 2, MPC, our very own Malaysia Productivity Corporation under MIT. Okay, why this particular agency is important? Okay, they can play a big role if you want to improve on this particular index, on this particular indicator. Okay, because this particular agency, okay, they are responsible to develop human capital and organizational excellence for building a knowledge-based society through training, system development, and best practices. And they're also responsible, okay, policy-wise, okay, regulation-wise, to conduct review on regulation and promoting good regulatory practice to create a more competitive business environment. And the last one, they are also responsible, regulation-wise, policy-wise, to nurture innovative and creative culture for productivity and competitiveness through partnership program. Okay, these particular three that I mentioned just now, they are very much related to our contemporary culture. And if we can recall, MPC, they are very good, and to a certain extent, they are very successful at incorporating foreign ideas. Things like 5S, things like 3QM, okay, things like good manufacturing practices, GMP, okay, lean manufacturing practices. MPC is at the forefront of developing in developing and also in adapting and adopting these particular foreign ideas, molded it. They were very successful in molding this particular thing into our contemporary culture. Okay, we look at 5S for example. They are very successful. And recent MDAC is a recent, okay, in terms of recency. Okay, MDAC is one of the new organizations. Okay, MDAC is important with regard to national culture. Why? Because of digitalization. We are living in industry IR 4.0, industry revolution 4.0 era. Okay, we talk about digitalization. Okay, it's a key. Okay, we talk about economic growth, Malaysia. The digitalization is a key, and is a key, is an enabler that we need to utilize in order to boost our economic further. Okay. Basically, why MDAC? Because regulation-wise, policy-wise, okay, MDAC is focusing on accelerating our digital economic growth, ensuring it is inclusive and rewarding for all, focus on the following key drivers: empowering nation with digital skills, enabling digitally powered businesses, and driving digital sector investment. Okay, this particular thing can be construed as part of our contemporary culture that can contribute toward our competitiveness. And of course, Ministry of Education, Ministry of Higher Learning, okay, because we talk about, okay, if you want to inculcate a culture of competitiveness, okay, whether you like it or not, you have to do it at a very young age. So Ministry of Education, Ministry of Higher Education, they are responsible, especially if you talk about the young age, okay, from the primary school, secondary school, that's under the prerogative of Ministry of Education. Okay, so how to beat competitiveness as part of our contemporary culture. Okay, what are the foreign ideas that we can incorporate so that we can boost our competitiveness? Okay, so we talk about Ministry of Education, they also incorporate a lot of foreign ideas. Okay, you talk about Ministry of Higher Education, similarly, they also incorporate a lot of foreign ideas. And to a certain extent, okay, the success can be considered gray area. Some people can say it's very successful. Some people say so and so. And Local State Economic Development Corporation. Here, I'm interested to highlight as an example PKNS, Perbadanan Kemajuan Negeri Selangor. Okay, because PKNS, this particular organization, it is very successful and it has lots of good youth and entrepreneurship development programs. Okay, we talk about youth and entrepreneurship development program. Okay, they inculcate a lot of foreign ideas. Okay, during when they implement this particular program. Okay, entrepreneurship development program. Okay, for example, Blue Ocean. Okay, business model canvassing. Okay, these two examples are foreign ideas, but they incorporate this particular foreign ideas as part of their entrepreneurship development program. Okay, next, HRDF or PSMB, Pembangunan Sumber Manusia Berhad. Okay, because HRDF and PSMB, they are responsible in training. Okay, they encourage employers covered under PSMB Act 2001 to retrain and upgrade the skills of the local employees, apprentices, and trainees in line with the business needs and the development strategy of the company. Okay, so basically they are responsible. Okay, we talk about foreign practices, good foreign practices, good foreign ideas that can improve our competitiveness, our industry competitiveness. Okay, HRDF is at the forefront. Okay, a lot of example. And of course, similarly in the construction industry, we have CIDB Malaysia, CIDB Holdings Berhad. They are, in terms of role, in terms of function, they are quite similar to HRDF, but for construction industry. Now, all right. For this particular index, okay, how open is your national culture to foreign ideas? Okay, Ireland is number one. Okay, Ireland is number one. So when business executives are asked, okay, to what extent the national culture is open or closed to foreign ideas, the Irish is ranked as having the most open culture. Okay, if you look at Ireland, okay, they don't have much. Okay, their population close to 6 million. Okay, but it has a highly skilled and educated workforce that is English speaking. Okay, all of which are important factors in the global economy that give them a cutting edge over other countries in attracting investment. Okay, when it comes to attracting foreign direct investment, Ireland is in the top 5. Okay, when inward investment is measured as percentage of country's GDP, Ireland is the fourth biggest destination worldwide. Okay, and we look at this particular list, focus on business efficiency and also infrastructure. Okay, business efficiency and national culture, Ireland is number 1. Okay, but look at next after national culture, flexibility and adaptability. Okay, Ireland is number 2. Okay, and if you look at under infrastructure, human development index, okay, the Ireland is ranked as number 3. Okay, and I believe this particular index or this particular ranking indicators, they are closely related. Okay, we talk about how open is your national culture. Okay, if your workforce is flexible and adaptable, if the citizen of that particular country is flexible and adaptable, okay, most likely they are when it comes to national culture, they are open to foreign ideas. Okay, and in order to have an open mindset, okay, human development index, okay, it's related to human development index, the so-called education of that particular country. Okay, okay, how that particular country is able to mold their so-called human capital. Okay. Now, what are the drivers that contributing to this particular ranking of ours? Yeah, we are right now ranked at 43. Okay, based on my study, based on my analysis, okay, I would rank one of the main drivers. Okay, I would rank the main drivers. The number 1 drivers is people, development of the nation, human resources. Okay, because we talk about culture. Okay, culture consists of attitudes, values, goals, and practices. And these particular things are developed through education, training, and experience. Okay, from primary school, or if you want to put in kindergarten, yes, from kindergarten, primary, secondary, higher learning, vocational, and even at the workplace. All of these attitude, values, goals, and practices. Okay, throughout primary, secondary, all the way to the workplace. These attitude, values, goals, and practices, they are developed. Okay, so in order for us to come up with a strong national culture, okay, in order for us to inculcate, okay, a competitive culture within our society, we need change agents, we need role models. Okay, and change agent, role models, how to develop them? You need to develop them as early as primary school and all the way to vocational and the workplace. Okay, if you have a good change agent, a good role models, okay, whatever that you want to embed it, whatever you want to inculcate as part of a contemporary culture, whether they are locals or foreign, okay, it can be done. Okay, provided you have good change agent, provided you have good role models. Okay, number 1. Number 2, technology, adaptation to digital technology. Okay, we are living in industry II 1.0. Okay, technology is highly disrupted. Okay, so what are our choices? Okay, do we want to be extinct like the dinosaurs, or do we want to be transformed? Okay, and become a very highly competitive nation. So what are our choices? Okay, for our country, okay, Malaysia, and right now the world at large, we are living in a very special time. Okay, we are living in pandemic COVID-19. Okay, in the era of pandemic, 2020. Okay, this particular year is the year that people are going to talk about in the years to come. Technology is highly disrupted. Okay, what are our choices? Okay, but when it comes to pandemic COVID-19, we don't have a choice. The choices are forced upon us. We have to adapt. We have to adopt. Okay, we have to adapt. We have to adopt the new norm. Again, this so-called new norm is sooner or later is going to be part of our contemporary culture. So, what are the new norms? Okay, we need to incorporate digital. technology. We need to work from home. Okay, we need to utilize flexi hours. We need to work from home. Okay, office space is no longer limitation. We can work from anywhere. Okay, by utilizing digitalization. So the mindset of workforce needs to be adjusted to embrace these particular foreign ideas, foreign technology, digital technology. So whether we like it or not, we need to adapt and adopt. So the workforce readiness needs to be upgraded. We have relevant competency and capability. Mentally, we need to be ready. Okay, and because we have no choice, mentally we need to be ready. We need to be transformed right away. And number 3, okay, the drivers contributing to the current ranking. Okay, number 3, I put it here: institutions. Okay, what kind of institution, what kind of organization? Here I would say organization that promotes new ideas. Okay, these so-called new ideas can be local, can be foreign. Okay, basically organization that promote new ways of doing things, okay, need to better complement each other. Okay, right now we have a lot of organization, okay, under the jurisdiction of government, under jurisdiction of private sectors, okay, but they are mostly doing things in silo. Okay, there is no connectivity. Yeah? So what we need from HRDF, CIDB, MPC, all the way to universities and colleges, okay, we need this particular institution to find ways that can contribute to better adoption and adaptation of local or foreign ideas that can contribute to our competitiveness as a nation. And they have to do it in a complementary manner, not competing manner. Okay, basically they need to, in Malay, lengkap melengkapi antara satu sama lain. So these are the 3 drivers that I considered contributing, major contributors to our current ranking. So what are the things that we can recommend to improve our ranking? Okay, but before I proceed to this particular recommendation section, Lawrence, are you with me?
Yes, I'm still with you. I'm still with
thank
you.
you very much.
Interesting presentation so far.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, I'm not talking to myself by myself. All right.
Oh
So,
no, I think
okay,
a few people here are listening as well.
Okay, thank you. Let me continue. Because
Sure.
I need to check from time to time because sometimes we have technical problem. Sometimes I didn't realize that there is a technical problem occurring during this particular presentation of mine. So I need to check from time to time. Okay, when it comes to recommendation, okay, based on my study, okay, number 1, okay, when it comes to recommendation, okay, national business digital transformation for the private sector. Okay, why private sector? Okay, because in the government sector, because right now I'm involved in a DGCCR initiative, Digital Government Competency and Capability Readiness Program. Okay, when it comes to the government sector, I think they have a well-played program. Okay, championed by JPA, they have a well-played program spearheaded by GPA or Public Services Department under the previously 11 Malaysia Plan and soon 12 Malaysia Development Plan. Okay, but for the private sector, okay, industry forward policy by MITI, okay, is a good start. Okay, we want to use as a benchmark, use as reference, is a good start. But when it comes to implementation, I think they are lagging behind compared to the one that I mentioned just now, DGCCR, championed by our very own Public Services Department. Okay, if we look at industry forward policy, okay, championed by MITI, okay, it's a good start with 5 fields of primary enablers. Okay, if you want to remember, just remember this particular acronym first, FIRST. Okay, F stand for funding and outcome-based incentive. Okay, E, enabling ecosystem and efficient digital infrastructure. Okay, number 1, we need incentive, we need policies. Okay, and in order to implement this, we need a digital infrastructure, FI. And R, regulatory framework and industry adoption. Okay, what are the framework that need to be put in place so that the industry can adopt this particular thing, readily adopt this particular thing. And S, upskilling existing and producing future talents. Okay, this is another one area that all those HRDF, CIDB, okay, even MPC to some extent, okay, they can play the role. But upskilling existing, producing future talents, okay, because under IR 4.0, okay, we need to produce, okay, our school, our university need to tailor-make our workforce for future jobs, not for current jobs. Okay, of course, for current job, yes, but for future job as well. Okay, let me rephrase that. And T, access to smart technologies and standard. Okay, this implementation wise is an issue right now, but we will talk about it in a short while. For the private sectors, okay, the existing policy can be strengthened with the following. Okay, this is my recommendation. Okay, number one, develop a digital business strategy. Okay, complemented by plan of action and an impact assessment instrument. Okay, the design should signify expected output, outcome, and impacts. Currently, we don't have an index, okay, that can tell whether this particular digital business strategy is successful. Okay, we don't have currently we don't have, okay, an index that can tell whether this particular digital business strategy is very successful or is not successful. Okay, invest or resume to invest in the growth of critical key digital enablers. Okay, example, digital identity, shared data services, shared business processes, okay, and provide incentive for their use across the private sector. Okay, this is where government policies, okay, government regulation can play very key roles. Focus on developing digital and data-related skills. Okay, we talk about data-related skills. Okay, it's not that we don't have these in the past. Yeah, we have. MPC is a success story. Okay, because we talk about MPC, they are responsible. Okay, in introducing 7 QC tools, introducing the QCC movement, the quality control movement throughout the industry within our country. And they're very good at it, and they're very successful. 7 QC2 is basically dealing with data. Okay, but that was then. Okay, now we're not talking about data, we're talking about big data. Okay, the volume and speed of big data is humongous. So we need a certain data-related skill that can cater for this humongous of data. Okay, in terms of size, in terms of speed, they are very, very big. They are very, very fast. Okay, and promote and enforce the adoption of user standard and guideline. Okay, promote and enforce the adoption of user standard and guideline. This is easier said than done. Okay, this one is easier said than done. Yeah, to offer more coherent, interoperable, resilient digital business infrastructure. Okay, for example, if you look at the e-wallet, for example, okay, there are a lot of apps, a lot of systems, okay, available in the industry, okay, but none of these apps are compatible to each other. Okay, if you use e-wallet by Touch and Go, only Touch and Go. If you use e-wallet by Boost, only Boost. Okay, you cannot scan, you cannot use Boost, okay, as a form of e-wallet. Okay, you cannot use that particular thing for Touch and Go e-wallet. Okay, basically what I'm talking about adoption of user standard and guideline. Okay, I'm talking about one standard that can fit everything. Okay, so in terms of e-wallet, sooner or later we need a clearinghouse function. Okay, we need a standard that can be utilized to clear out all of these differences. Yeah, establish an open business data strategy. Okay, within the data governance framework and policy. Okay, engaging external stakeholders with clear action to manage each stage of the data value chain and support the reuse of open business data for value creation. Okay, establish an open business data strategy. Okay, this one, okay, easier said than done. Okay, but it's good to have. If we can have a clear picture of this particular thing, it's good for us to have. Okay, why I said this? Okay, the challenge right now is data sharing. Okay, if you talk about government, okay, there are many agencies, many ministry, okay, but they're all under, we can say they're all under one roof. But when it comes to data sharing, okay, we still have problem. Okay, we still have people who are reluctant to share the data. So if that situation persists in the government agency or government sector, private sector is going to be a bit more challenging. Why? Because when it comes to private sectors, when it comes to data sharing, okay, the tendency is of one which is reluctant to share data because data to them is trade secret. Okay, so how we can come up with an open business data strategy? What can we do? If we're able to do it, then it can help a lot. Okay, the above is something that MDEC and PC might need to consider. Number two, promote business ideas bank for policy makers. Okay, this is a good thing to have. Encourage public to provide ideas through the creation of ideas bank that promotes innovative thinking and receptive to ideas. Okay, and it will encourage thinking and creative society. And currently for the public sector, we already have one idea in place, or one platform in place. Okay, if you browse www.ideaconnect.gov.my, okay, you can discover a lot of tools, okay, that open to government servants, okay, for them to throw out any kind of ideas, okay, that can improve the efficiency and effectiveness of that particular government agency or government as a whole. Okay, so especially those ideas that are considered low cost but high impact when implemented. Okay, so every one of them, okay, every one of the government servant, they are encouraged to throw out ideas. The platform is available, Idea Connect. But for the private sectors, right now we don't have. Okay, at the bigger picture, we don't have. At companies, we have. Okay, if you look at 5S, if you look at the 2KM, okay, under suggestion scheme, we have that. Okay, but that is only for that particular individual organization. Okay, for the big picture, no, we don't have that. So if government can come up with idea bank for policymakers, open up to the private sectors, okay, this is going to be good. Okay, especially if you can put this particular thing direct under Jabatan Perdana Menteri, okay, and direct under the Prime Ministry department, okay, direct to our number one. Okay, good. A lot of ideas from the citizen direct to this particular Prime Minister of ours. Okay, number 3, competency development as the culture. Okay, youth entrepreneurship culture. Okay, various initiatives exist to promote youth entrepreneurship. Okay, often led by higher learning institution. Okay, public-private partnership and LCDC, etc. Okay, we can benchmark with those programs available in the UK or in France. Okay, Founders for School, for example, in the UK is a program that link, okay, schools with highly successful entrepreneurs. Yeah, so basically, student can ask question direct to this particular highly successful entrepreneurs, okay, the so-called icon of that particular business icon of that particular country. Student can ask direct, student can link direct with this particular business icon. Okay, use entrepreneurship culture, that's A. B, group organization culture development training program. Okay, this one can be championed by HRDF or CIDB. Okay, C, promote national competitiveness culture. Right now, we don't have. Okay, this is something that I would like to propose this to be championed by Ministry of Culture and Tourism. Okay, right now, Ministry of Culture and Tourism is more focusing on our traditional culture. Okay, why not? Okay, not only this particular ministry focusing on our traditional culture, but they're also focusing on our contemporary culture. So why not come up with, promoting competitiveness as part of our contemporary culture, okay, or quality as part of our contemporary culture, okay, to be championed by Ministry of Culture and Tourism, okay, rather than focusing on the so-called traditional culture. Okay, and number 4, continuous upskilling and reskilling of the so-called existing workforce. Yeah? Long-term development of workforce by relevant institution, okay, can be championed by HRDF, CIDB, or Federation of Manufacturing Malaysia Association, whatever. Okay, and currently we have a Penjana initiative, soft skill and hard skill, but this one is more short-term in nature. Okay, why not come up with a learning and development program, upskilling, reskilling of the existing workforce, but with long-term view. Okay, that's number 4. And we're done. Okay, I'm ready to move on to conclusion. Lawrence?
I'm still here. Yes, I'm still here.
Okay,
Yeah,
is there
moving to
any
conclusion right now.
yeah,
Yes.
is there any question in the pipeline, or can I conclude first, then we answer the question?
Well, if you want to proceed to conclude, I think that's fine. There are a couple of questions coming in, but I think while you're still on the topic, do you like to continue?
Okay, let me conclude first.
Or you like to address the question first? But I think let you finish your flow of thoughts before we address the questions.
All right. Then we address the question. Huh? Okay.
Sure.
This is my conclusion. For this particular study. In the era of globalization, Industry 4.0. Okay. In the era of pandemic that we are having right now. Okay. No country is an island. Okay. Malaysia as a country that has been influenced in the past and now by foreign ideas that have been incorporated as part of our organizational practices. From 5S, Kaizen, 2KM, ISO quality management system, okay, and recently Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, and digitalization trend. Okay, these are all foreign practices and ideas, but they have been embedded as our nation contemporary culture. Okay, foreign ideas come in many forms that influence this particular nation of ours. Okay, some foreign ideas are bad and some are good. Okay, but we need to be open. Okay, we need to inculcate our citizens to be open to those that are considered good, those that are contributing, okay, to make us as a nation more competitive. Okay, okay, that's number one. Okay, number two, okay, we need to open ourselves to foreign ideas, okay, that can increase our competitiveness as a nation. Okay, for that, we need to strengthen our people. Okay, the so-called human capital that we have. Okay, through better education, upskilling, and reskilling. Okay, why better education? Why better upskilling and reskilling? Okay, better education, better upskilling, and better reskilling. Okay, basically help us. Okay, uh, help us becoming better thinker. Okay, critical thinking, creative thinking. Okay, help us becoming better thinker. So the moment we can think what is good and what is best for our country, so doesn't matter. Okay, what kind of foreign ideas that are landed into our shores. Okay, we are ready for this particular thing. We are ready to take the goods. Okay, we are ready to differentiate. Okay, what is better for our country, what is not so good for our country. Okay, in that particular picture, okay, we are able to better choose the relevant, okay, foreign ideas that we can incorporate it as part of our contemporary culture. So we need to choose the relevant enabling type of digital technology. Okay, we talk about digitalization. Is a form of foreign ideas. Okay, we need to choose the relevant enabling type of digital technology that can make us better and more competitive. Yeah. For that, we need to have the mindset of our workforce transformed and ready to embrace digitalization. Okay, we need to strengthen and provide clear roles for those institutions that are empowered to deliver cultural change so that they can complement each other for a better and more competitive Malaysia. Rather than thinking in silo, okay, those institutions, okay, the one that I mentioned in the recommendation section, okay, if they can work as a big jigsaw puzzle, okay, each one of them contributing to for us to understand or for us to complete that particular puzzle. Okay, basically we need them to complement each other so that we can have the bigger picture presented clearly, so that our nation can become good, our nation can become more competitive. So the next year or the year after that, when IMDb issued another WCY 2021-2022, hopefully our ranking is going to be improved. Okay. Okay, Lawrence?
Okay. Yes, thank you. Thank you for your sharing. Um, it's quite a lot of stuff to cover. It's interesting to see that you are taking it from this angle
Yeah.
to talk about the national culture. You have defined the way it is. That is the shared belief attitudes of institution, organization. I think probably that is why the questions actually come in. They talk about the linkage between national culture and the organizational culture.
Okay.
In Czech, I think it's in Czech. Let me see. Khairuddin Hassan. He has a couple of questions for you. He's trying to find out if there's any impact from our existing national culture onto the culture of organizations if they want to be innovative. Is there an impact from national culture to the culture of the organization, like companies, like agencies, institutions? I think when you share about the innovation that we need to have in enterprises, organizations, he's trying to see the link. So the question is whether the national culture have any impact on the culture of innovative organizations. I think we lost you, Brother Ron. Oh, you're back. Can you hear us?
Yeah, scary. Yeah, we have technical problem just now. I can't hear you. So basically, the question is, if I recall, because I recall.
Let me repeat.
Let me recall. I recall the first part. Basically, what is the relationship between organizational culture and national culture? Is that the question?
The question is more like whether the national culture has any impact on the culture.
Oh my God.
Of the organization. So if the organization is trying to be innovative, can you hear us?
Can you repeat one more time? Lost.
Oh, I think the audio quality is not good today. Let me repeat again. If you cannot hear, let me know, because I won't know.
I can't hear you. I can't hear you.
Oh, okay.
One more time.
You can hear. Okay, I'm sorry. Does the national culture have any impact on the culture of innovative organizations?
Okay.
Is it clear?
Yeah, you're clear. The answer is yes.
Okay.
Okay, the answer is yes. The national culture definitely has an impact on the innovativeness of organization. Okay. Coming back to regulation and policies. Okay. We can, if MPC, MDEC, for example, if they can come up with certain regulations, certain incentive, certain policies, okay, and those policies encourages innovative behaviors in the industry, and of course the impact is going to be there. Okay, and organization, okay, industry, they would definitely grab that particular incentive, okay, and by doing so, they would definitely boost their innovativeness. Okay, for example, in Malaysia, we have certain grant, when it comes to technology, when it comes to innovation, certain grant. Okay, this particular grant is big enough, okay, tempting enough. Of course, organization would fight all the way to grab this particular grant. Okay, the answer is yes. Yeah, for that particular question. Thank you very much for to the audience who asked that particular question. I appreciate it. Okay, Lawrence, any more?
Yeah, I think the second question, I think, is a similar one, because you just answered it. You just answered it because he's asking again if there's a link between the organizational culture and the national culture, and does national culture determine organizational culture? So I think from your explanation, it seems like there's a strong link. How the national culture, how we believe, how we behave, accepting foreign ideas, is going to directly affect organizational culture. If I read Khairuddin's questions a bit deeper, I think he's probably talking about the coverage of not just organizational culture. I think he's probably thinking about why not enlarge it and talk about the population of our sovereign nation, the whole national culture, instead of just organizational culture, because organizational culture is a subset of the entire nation culture. I think that's what probably he's asking. I'm not sure about your view on this.
No, that's why if you look at my recommendation, okay, my recommendation, I'm linking education. Okay, we want to inculcate competitiveness culture, okay, innovativeness throughout from the bigger perspective. Okay, you need to start from the very early age. Yeah, that's why I incorporate inside my recommendation, Ministry of Education. They have to play the roles. Okay, if possible, as early as kindergarten, kindergarten, primary school, secondary school, all the way to university.
Yes. You have taught many people from all over the country, private. What is your personal experience on this? Do you find this to be true? People in general more open or more close to accepting ideas, from outside Malaysia? What is your personal experience?
My personal experience, okay, we are very much open.
Okay, okay.
My
But
personal
it's just that
experience very much
the
open.
school doesn't reflect that. Mm.
That's why when I look at the ranking, I was very, very surprised. Because as a country, we are, we are we are very much open. Okay, probably in terms of visibility. Okay, government initiative, okay, that encourage this particular thing in terms of visibility, in terms of promotion or advertisement in regard to this particular thing. I think that is an area that we need to improve. Because the way I look at it, probably the business executive, why they answer in a negative, because based on their perception. That point of view, based on the perception. To them, probably there is no initiative toward make us more open to foreign ideas. Okay, that particular initiative, even though it's there, it's not visible. Okay, that's the way I look at it. Okay, you look at the agencies. We have lots of agencies that inculcating or incorporating lots of foreign ideas into our contemporary culture. MPC, they have done a lot. Okay,
Yes.
and even government sector. You talk about blue ocean strategy. Okay, when it comes to the government sector, we are the first. Okay, you look at blue ocean strategy. Most of the time, blue ocean strategy are more toward private sector, but when it comes to government sector, we are the first. Okay, one of our success story. What do you call? UTC?
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 Yes.
High impact, low cost. Okay, whereby they fit one building, centralized building, that all government services are there in that particular building. UTC? But what do you call it? Yes. That is a success story. Okay, that particular idea comes from Blue Ocean Strategy. Okay, when they incorporate Blue Ocean Strategy, and one of the innovation coming out from this particular Blue Ocean Strategy is UTC, and it's quite successful. Don't you think so?
It is. It is. I think the score that represents how Malaysia as a whole nation accept the foreign idea is by just a handful of working group, either from public or from private. So I think naturally, if we define it like that, we tend to want to talk about organizational, because these are views from organizational people, the working group. But I think you're rightfully spot on when you talk about the national culture should be started right from kindy, not just targeting at the adults. So if that is the case, do you think policy itself is enough?
Tough question.
Tough question, because if we are going to target the whole nation and not just the working adults, I think there are probably a bigger picture as to how we should tackle this, because it's not just the responsibility from the ministry. Probably public like you and me, we probably have to play the role as well to boost the score next time.
So
there are a couple more questions. Yes.
So if you ask me whether policy alone is enough, the answer is not enough. Okay, but policy is a start. Okay, government need to start the ball rolling. Need to start the ball rolling.
Yes, like you talk about the MOHE, the MDEC, the HRDF. Those, I think, are the sources where they can set the foundations right for us to start from scratch again. Let me read to you another couple of questions.
Okay.
This question is about evidence. Is there any evidence that illustrate the definite characteristics of national culture in Malaysia? So that's the first question. So I think this person, let me try to find his name. It's a bit small. Is it? The window is a bit small.
there any evidence, okay, that define our national culture? Can I rephrase that particular question? Is there any evidence
that
or
illustrate the definite characteristics? Okay, I think I think it's Aizuddin who asked this, if I'm not wrong. I'm sorry if I get your name wrong. This is a very small window I'm trying to look at. I think he's trying to find out how is this national culture measured. You know, when you measure certain things, there are characteristics. You know, when you want to see if a person is skillful enough, you look at the number of years this person is working in that area. So if you want to measure national culture, is there a clear measurement, like characteristics we can measure? So he's trying to find out if there's any evidence that says, you know, that points to any characteristics we can measure to our national culture. So instead of just survey.
instead of just okay, instead of just
So I
survey?
think, so is there any definite characteristics? I don't know. I mean, there are just so many of them. If you want to look at the definition of national culture, is referring to a lot of things. It's referring to our norms, our language, our behavior, our belief, our custom, our values, a lot of things. It includes our ethnical history, our racial identity. So if you want to talk about characteristics, I would probably go there, but I think it's just so many.
So many, true.
So many.
Okay,
many. Let me read the second part of the question. The second part of the question sounds like this. Do you think proficiency
technical problem.
in a foreign language, probably a second language or third, does it point to our openness to foreign idea? So if we accept their language, that means we accept their ideas. What do you think?
No, not really.
Not really. But, so we can learn a language, but we probably may not accept their ideas. They're two different things, right?
Yeah. We may learn their language, but we may not accept their ideas. Okay, but we are more open to their ideas because we understand
them.
Yeah. But we may not accept their ideas, but we are more open to their ideas. Okay, that's the way I look at it.
That's true. At least the first gate is clear. You know, we can try to understand them, but we may not accept them. Another question from Khairuddin Hassan. What is your view? What is your view on national culture affecting internet's use? The use of internet. Does national culture affect? The way I read it is probably the way we use internet, or the way we accept and the way we learn from internet. Does our national culture affect it?
To a certain extent, yes. Okay. Our national culture, the way we use internet, our national culture to a certain extent impact the way we use internet. Okay, affect the way internet to a certain extent, yeah. Because if you look at the status right now, okay, based on my study when I work on digital government competency, capability, and readiness for the government sector. Okay, one of the indicators when it comes to internet usage, right now internet usage in Malaysia, okay, we are in the 90% with regard to usage of social media. Okay, but usage of social media as a form of news dissemination. Okay, but as tools for productivity, as a tool for quality improvement, not so much.
Yeah. That's true.
Not so much.
Not so much.
Because in my recent example, because I'm involved in this particular Facebook group, parents whose son and daughters are in the boarding school. We have this particular Facebook group, and utilization of smartphone in boarding school. Okay, a lot of them are against utilization using smartphone in boarding school, but when it comes to utilization of smartphone, the picture of utilization is mostly on communication. Okay, for the parents to communicate with the child. Okay, for education purpose, using smartphone, okay, information within your fingertips, to use that particular smartphone as an educational tool. Okay, basically, only a few of them are able to see from that particular angle. Most of them are, when you talk about smartphone, communication tools. Okay, never educational tools. Okay, you look at the perspective, right? Okay, I think that
Yes,
is
yes.
rather related to our nation culture. Okay, the way
Yeah,
we
yeah,
brought up. Okay, we view smartphone just as communication tool, never educational tools.
yeah. I think this is starting to change in some countries, like perhaps
Slowly,
Singapore.
yeah,
They are
slowly.
mandating primary one children to have a smart device, the first day of school, because
Yep,
the lessons will be downloaded onto the smart device for them to learn. So I think, yeah, you're right. I think traditionally we don't look at smart device as a way to access information, but it's more the communication. But I
yep,
think these things that you have pointed out that we need to change the way we see things.
true.
Muhammad Azudin also commented. He gave one example, and he asked whether the look east policy, dasar pandang ke timur, is it one of the examples that indicate our high openness to foreign ideas?
Yeah, I
So
would say yes.
he's asking, yeah, okay,
I would say yes. Yeah,
yeah,
even right now in education, we are open up ideas to Finland, okay, education system. We
mm,
are open up ideas to other countries' education system. To a certain extent, the
mm,
answer is yeah, we are opening up to foreign ideas.
yeah. It's just that we had the policy on look east, but actually we are looking everywhere. We are
Right now,
benchmarking, the best in class, north, south, whoever is good, we're gonna benchmark,
that's
not
right.
just east.
That's right.
Yeah. Um, yeah, these are all the questions I can see. Hopefully, I didn't miss out anything. But otherwise, people are trying to clarify if the national culture encompasses many things, which I think should be. Um, like you point out on the innovation part. I think it's something like what you teach. You probably think that the mindset of not accepting ideas from foreign is something that's already deeply ingrained uh, while we are small. So it's like the root of things that are already, learned when we are small is hard to unlearn. So if we go back to the topic of the adults, who are working in organizations, because these are the views they give that we are not so open yet. If we're going to come up with policies to help mold their thinking, do you think it's possible for them to unlearn what they have learned so far so that they can be more open? Or you think this is something that is already inbuilt and cannot be changed? What is your experience in this?
My experience on this particular thing, the answer is it can be done. It can be done,
Mm,
yeah. Because in my training circle, in my training, the training series that I've conducted, we
mm,
encounter a few individuals who are so reluctant to accept change. Okay, but the moment we highlight to them the benefits of change, okay, and this particular individual, they are able to change.
huh?
We have
Is it
experience.
difficult? Is it difficult to change their view of things? Sometimes they
It's not
just
easy.
cannot see it.
Yes, it's not easy because it's a process. You have to go
Mm,
through the process from A to Z. You have to go through that particular process. Only then they can see it. Okay, if you force them to see, very difficult for adults because they have embedded
mm,
principle, embedded belief. It's very difficult for
mm,
them to change.
mm. I
True.
think I think more people have to go to your training and learn that process. Uh, yeah, I think we probably should introduce this in school. This kind of process are not really, I don't know. Is it widely taught in school? system nowadays, if we talk about, let's say, primary, secondary, or they are taught to find the one answer, if not
Okay.
the many answers that are possible.
Yeah, we are moving towards that direction. Okay, we're
Mm,
talking
mm,
about PAK 21, Pendidikan Kelas 21. The focus is more on creating thinkers, improving creative thinking and so creative thinking to among our students. So basically, the
mm,
teachers' functions are changing from
mm,
from spoon feeding. Now the teachers are
mm,
more facilitating. Okay, they provide the picture, and it's up to students to understand that particular picture. Last time, yes,
mm,
spoon feeding, rote learning. Okay, but right now we are
mm,
moving away from that particular structure, from that particular system.
mm.
But yeah, it will take some time. We don't expect the changes to be very fast. It will take some time.
It
It's not
will,
easy
it
to
will.
generation. Yeah.
That is why, we are impatient. How do we speed it up? By next year, can we get the rank improved? It's a bit tough. Um,
It, it's a bit tough.
it's
It's
a
a
bit
bit
tough.
tough. It's a bit tough, but the best is for us to change the perception. How do we change
Mm,
perception? By promotion. Okay.
mm,
We put a picture that we are doing something. Okay. This particular
mm,
government, they have a certain incentive, certain policies are in place. So this
mm,
particular incentive, this particular policies need to be indivisible, so that people can see that there are changes taking place. So at
mm,
least if there is this so-called executive, they see this
mm,
particular thing. Probably when the same
mm.
question comes to them next year, probably they will answer more in the positive rather than in the negative.
Let's hope that. Let's not hope that will happen.
Uh,
Kai Zudin, I think, Kai Rudin, I'm sorry,
yeah,
also commented that he's saying smartphone is evolved from communication tools. Now it's more than just communication. It's
true.
gaming. It's gaming tool.
Gaming
Uh,
tool as
not
uh,
gaming tool as well. So not as enrichment. I think gaming is also a foreign idea, right?
yep.
Yeah.
It's also an
So
idea.
I think it's interesting to see how you propose to go digitalization in the industry 4.0, to get people to accept that first, because when they accept things that they like, indirectly they are accepting foreign ideas without knowing. So I think
Without
if they are already doing this subconsciously, it's
true,
probably easy to change their mindset rather than say, okay, now you have to do what we tell you, but you're changing it on your own.
true,
Yeah.
true. Just
There's
like
no other question, yeah?
just like
Yes, there's
COVID-19, whether we
yes.
like it or not, we are forced to accept digital technology because of
Mm,
COVID-19. And we need to
mm,
work from home. Yeah, you can't go to office. So how to work? Work from home. In order to work from home, we need digital technology. It's a foreign
exactly.
idea. We have to accept it.
Mm,
We have to adapt and adopt to it.
mm, you're right. I'm just scrolling through the pen. There's no other questions. I guess people are happy.
Thank you very much.
Otherwise, yeah, I saw questions just keep popping up just now.
Okay.
Okay. If there's no more questions, probably we can start to conclude this. I think before we come to the end, maybe I'll try to ask Brother Ron another question before we wrap up. What is your message to the audience today? Audience like you and me, who are not only working adults but probably parents, probably teachers. What is our role? What is our role in improving national culture going forward? Because, like you said, this does not just start from the ministry policies, but it start from young. I think when we're talking about the young, you and I, we have responsibilities to play as well. What is your
True.
message to them today?
Okay, as a parent, as an educator, okay, in this particular industry, okay, as a change agent, okay, as a parent, number one, yes, we need to open ourselves, okay. When we talk about foreign ideas, okay, not all foreign ideas are bad, Okay, a lot of foreign ideas are good. Okay, so the goods one, those are the things that we need to utilize, we need to adopt, we need to adapt. Okay, inculcate, embedded those particular things as part of our culture. Yeah, as part of our contemporary culture to make us a better individual, to make us a better citizen. Okay, we start with our family first. Yeah, because when we talk about culture, start with individual, start with the family, and from family it triggers to the community, and then from community to the organization. Okay, individual, community, organization, we make this particular nation. Okay, if we're good, the nation is going to be good. If we're competitive, the nation is going to be very competitive. Okay, Lawrence. Okay, I
Yes,
conclude my
thank
message.
you. Thank you. I think that's very well said. I think there's a difference between open and doing, because you can accept the idea and you can also accept the difference, but it doesn't mean that you have to follow. So I think the acceptance here doesn't encompass things that you have to follow blindly. You can still open accept. You can still assess whether it's the right thing to do.
True.
Thank you again for your views on that.
Okay.
If there's no
Thank you.
more questions, thank you. We are coming to the end of this webinar. For those who have missed out our webinars, MPC has already created a YouTube channel. So again, it's a foreign idea. So please log on to the YouTube channel. It's called Productivity and Competitiveness Channel, MPC. You'll find a lot of foreign ideas over there. So I hope you can go and learn more. Thank you for dialing in, especially to our audience, to the few individuals who have contributed your comments and your questions. Until then, we will see you again in the next webinar topic. So happy learning. Stay safe. Let's sign off now, Brother Ron.
Okay. Thank you very much. Stay safe. Bye-bye.
Bye.